Hello guys, and it's time for another one. This is like Mircos' third place Pan Xeno profile from yesterday's regionals. This is the third deck profile I'm recording right now. There will be another one, however I won't be alone, hopefully for that one. So I will now talk about Pan a little bit. Pan Xeno is a deck you should know because it's by far the best black deck in the meta. There are other black decks like Golden Cooler, or maybe something different that can also top, but this is like the most consistent one. Like one of the decks of the tier 1 meta. So we will briefly talk about this deck because we have so many deck profiles up already. Mirko and I made a deck profile when we went with Pan Xeno to the Krefeld regional as well. We both got top 16. This time he got top 3, so top 4, so third place. So we will briefly talk about this deck. I will just open every card here because they are known by now. This deck has been figured out. There are some slight changes that Mirko made to the deck. I want to go over the changes briefly. So first change he made is adding 1 petrification to his main deck. Because it was a top 4 top cut as well, so this was most likely the choice for that. Then he also cutted the SS4 Vegito. Why? Because it sucks nowadays, because Great Saiyaman is a thing. Great Saiyaman can just easily play around SS4 Vegito, so it doesn't feel good to play that card anymore. Also, like, it taps you out turn 2, which is not a cool thing to do. And nowadays, we're kind of more reliant on getting rid of Great Saiyaman. For example, with the combo for 1 energy. Not being able to just use 2 energy, for example, for your Gohan. Which also gets blanked if that's the first card being played by Great Saiyaman is bad. So Kamba is the better response here. That being said, it's a pretty generic list you should have seen by now. He also dropped the draw 2, drop 1 overwhelm because he doesn't like it that much. And he preferred the critical overwhelm. I'm a bit different here, but it's just player's choice. The rest is like pretty generic, I would say, nothing really sticking out. For everybody who's still saying like 1 crack in spacetime is correct, you are wrong. 2 are correct. The amount of games I and Mirko won by using crack in spacetime is too damn high. And if you would just burst 1 crack in spacetime, your opponent also feels kind of relieved. And if you're revealing, oh, there's another one, they suddenly get scared and then you're winning games. Coming to the Z deck, pretty generic stuff here. Like, we've seen all of those things. This is like a key card in the deck. This is like a great finisher in this deck. This is like a great turn 3 play if you don't want to use that. This is just like 25k dual double in this deck. Starting turn 3. This is good against yellow matchups. However, Mirko doesn't like that card. It doesn't perform really well for him and he never sees a reason to play it. This is just generic the extra. And this, guys, this is my spice. I recommended him. And he used it in 3 games, and I'm very proud of that shit. So let's talk about this card. This card came out in Golden Cooler. You can forget everything about this card, but this text. At the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. So basically, this is a really, really good turn 2 card if you want to put out pressure. You just pay 1 and 2 for it. Especially going second, you're not tapping out. Then you swing with it. You're using leader ability, restanding. You swing with it, and then at the end of turn, it restands. So it's pretty similar to the SS4 Vegito, however it's more accessible because it's in the Z deck. It's also a blocker coming into the opponent's turn. And yeah, it's a pretty good card. And Mirko liked it a lot. I'm pretty proud that I recommended it to him and that he liked it that much. It did a lot for him, he said. Also, Mirko and I figured out that going second at the moment is a really good thing to do in Pan. Because sometimes when you're going first, you're not able to awaken turn 2. Chances are really high that if you're going second, you will be able to awaken turn 2. Also, your secret is live earlier, as well as your opponent goes down in life anyways because of their awaken. So going 2 of this deck is pretty solid choice, I would say. Some people might disagree. I think Mirko and I do agree that going second is the better choice. Talking briefly about the matchups. Like I said, this deck list doesn't contain any new exciting stuff. I could even show you the side deck. It's not that exciting, so we make it pretty short here. Maybe this one is interesting. This is against Mai. This is against the Aegis Gogeta player. Against Mai, if they're tapped out and you're responding with a black smoke early, you can win with Pan against Mai. If you're not doing that, you can't really win against Mai, at least it feels like that, because the blocker wall is too huge. There are too many swings from Mai coming in you can't really respond to. So this is a problem. Yeah, there's not much to say here, honestly. It's just another one of your Xeno. However, Mirco piloted it very well. He kind of cranked up a little bit his skill. So also Giovanni told him yesterday that Giovanni could really see how good Mirco got on this deck. Also, Mirco lost round 1 on the stream. Please don't watch round 1 on the stream because of a misplay. He was thinking he was on 5 life and then responded with Bardock. Very important here. Giovanni is a really good professional player. Mirco is also a really professional player. Both did really strange things. And both did it not like harmfully. It was the first round. They were on stream, so there's always a little bit of this like nervous feeling. Mirco didn't see that he was still on 5 life. He thought he was like on 4. And obviously if you're on 4 life, you want to respond with this one first and then use a token negate to fill up your drop again, right? So this is what you're doing. It wouldn't have mattered much if we would have responded with this first and then with the Bardock, because he would have had one less card in drop. However, at that point in the stream, it was an irreparable game state, so he got the loss. Is it a deserved loss? I would say yes. Did it affect his outcome at the tournament? No, it did not, because he showed that he still performed very well on the deck. It was a shame that it happened. Also, there was a situation earlier with Giovanni Casterman trying to use Tyrannical Blow on a Unison, which is not possible. They both didn't do it out of a bad intent, and they both didn't do it on purpose to annoy their opponent or to cheat in a win. I know both of them by heart. They are both very, very good players. They never do something like that on purpose. I also forgot to remove my Z-Leader on stream. Luckily, I realized it before any swing happened. Really, really luckily. It just happens. When you're on stage, when you're playing X rounds, small things can happen. Small things, right? Small things. Small things like that are not really game deciding. Like using an American Koitsukai, or, you know, drawing 2 of Pilaf, Shu, and Mai is a whole different story, which is not like an oopsie that happens, right? So we have to be careful about that. However, I'm pretty happy that the judge responded that way, that Mirco got the loss, because it's deserved. If you do a misplay and it's an irreparable game state, you're losing a game, and that's it. Nothing to be mad about, and it didn't affect the outcome anyway for both players. So let's talk about his matchups. First matchup against Nova. Well, he got the loss. Second match, he got the bye, so he got a win of that, which is pretty good. Third round was against Tien. Cards overperforming in this matchups were obviously BMS. Then, I think it was the Trunks card, or what did he tell me? No, it wasn't the Trunks card. I think the BMS did the most things here to kind of prohibit the tokens. The tokens are a problem for Black a little bit, because they generate so many swings and Black doesn't have a good floodgate. However, we have Protector of the People to fight against the tokens, and then you're out of the whole turn for them. Fourth round was against Zamasu Mill. I played Xeno a lot, and I told Mirco on how to play that matchup. To never play Demigra, to never play Overrealms, because you're milling yourself out, and to just concentrate on your Gohans. Because chances are pretty high, Zamasu Mill doesn't play Father-Son Solidarity, so he has no way on removing barrier cards. So he needs to swing on that card. And Pan is very good at defending. Like with a token negate, with a free negate, with a power burst, with a Gohan rare, with a counterplay. There's no way that Black is, that the color is able to touch Pan's card if they're not removing them on the side. So yeah, he played it just like this, always swinging into lead with a double strike, 25k, 35k, 45k, whatever you have on the board, and this really helped him to clutch out the game. And then fifth round was against Daimaku, also against Marco, our friend who also got the 7th place. Very proud of him, his first JLZ card. We will have a deck profile later for him. And yeah, this was like his most easy round. Marco was bricking a lot. It was very hard for him to come back. There's no specific card Mirco cited because the matchup against Blue is fairly okay. This card was overperforming against Nova as well. So yeah, nothing special here, just a really good pilot on a really good deck performing really well. That being said, if you still have any questions about Pan Xeno, leave them in the comments. I will forward them to Mirco, or Mirco will respond to them directly. And that being said, see you around. Bye bye.